The other thing I wanted to talk about, Kinsey, if you don't mind, though, is Harry and Meghan and the news that their wonderful charity, which we all really appreciate, earned about $13 million last year, according to its accounts. They only spent $3 million, though, so there's a $10 million surplus there. And it seems that they only spend about an hour a week each on it. So this precious charity that's been set up with great fanfare and that gets lots and lots of publicity, they don't seem to be working very hard on it, do they?
I mean, if you're going to lie about all the things you lie about, can't you just say you work 2 hours a week? I mean, the 1 hour a week, it kills me. It's not a good reflection on the brand, especially when these are two individuals that, when they left the royal family, insisted on releasing a statement about their life of service and how they did not need to be members of the royal family to live a life of service, and then proceeded to spend the last 3 years just, I mean, I would say, trying to bring down an entire monarchy, which is not a life of service. I think it sounds pretty vindictive. Yeah. So I don't think anybody's surprised by this. I think we're surprised by the fact that they would admit to it, though. Well,
I guess if anyone was to add up, you know, to your point, really, the amount of hours they spend rubbishing the royal family and trying to destroy them, you know, there are only certain amounts of hours in the week, whatever that is, you know, kind of 24 times 7. So I guess if you're spending 99% of your time trying to destroy your family, there's no physical time really to run Archerwell. So I guess they have to be fairly honest, really, because if they said, hey, we spend 20 hours a week each on Archerwell, this wonderful charity that's raising all this money, people would say, well, no, you can't be, because you spend so much time destroying your brother and brother-in-law, father and father-in-law, and so on. No, I thought the numbers were very interesting. Your point is very interesting indeed, though, actually, in terms of how stupid they are not to try and cover this somewhat. But I think it's incredible that not only have they seen $13 million come in, they've only spent $3 million. So, in other words, only 20% of what they see come in as donations is actually spent on good causes. There's a whole bunch of salaries in there, $163,000 in salaries, although they say that they themselves don't take salaries. The other interesting thing is that $13 million comes from 2 donors. So the amount of the public donations is only $4,000, which is hilarious on the basis that the public clearly do not support this charity and therefore, by extension, Harry and Meghan at all. One of those donations, $10 million. The speculation is, and this is pure guesswork, pure speculation on my part, is that might have come from Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, really? Because if we're gonna throw out pure speculation,
let's do that.
There are rumors all over the internet about Meghan meeting with the Getty family here in the States.
The same Getty family that are funding Just Stop Oil in Britain. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's absolutely. Eileen Getty, daughter of John Paul Getty, has apparently started to fund Just Stop Oil protesters on the basis that they cause trouble and commit as many crimes as possible, it seems. So that same Getty family.
I believe so. I'll have to check and see. But I just wanted to say about the $3 million. If you really look deep down at what they're spending their money on, too, they are very shallow initiatives. It's their way that, like, for instance, one of the things that they do is they sponsor an award at the NAACP Awards, which is, I don't know if you remember Harry at the award show accepting the award next to Meghan. It's, you know, primarily, it's primarily, I don't know how to say it without offending people, but, you know, it's black media.
Gut-wrenching is what it is. And apparently they're up for a Nobel Peace Prize, or that was yesterday's news, that I hope was an April Fool.
I think that's an April Fool's. I think that's an April Fool's. But, you know, they try to, they'll sponsor awards so that they can have a presence at that award show. I mean, it's things like that. It's, where is that money really making a difference? And if you look at their Archewell report that came out, I believe at the end of last year, you'll see that what they do is they attach themselves to charities that are already pursuing unique initiatives like making sure vaccines are in third world countries. And then Harry and Meghan take the credit that 12 million vaccines were distributed to third world countries.
It was all down to them.
No, that was this other charity that were doing that way before you said, we'll pop our heads in.
I presume you have these in the United States. It's what we would call here a cuckoo. the fact that they go into somebody else's nest and basically take it over. So you wanted to talk about a number of things. Obviously, we've only got a few minutes left, actually, because we've been enjoying ourselves so much. We've done Trump and Harry and Meghan. You have to do Harry and Meghan when we talk to Kinsey Schofield. It's fun, but there's always so much to say.
They are my neighbours.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
my
yeah.
neighbours.
Talking of Meghan Markle, a legal victory over Samantha, apparently. Tell us about that.
Yes. So Meghan's sister, half-sister Samantha Markle, is suing her for defamation. I talked to a lawyer on my podcast about this. He said, you know, Samantha's case is not that strong. I understand where Samantha's coming from. It has to be hard for her to work in the country when her sister's here, saying that she is basically a harlot, gave her children up, different dads for all her babies. I mean, Meghan has been critical of her, and it's proven through email correspondence in the book Finding Freedom, which Harry and Meghan participated in with Omid Scobie. Samantha, although is arguing that it's not over yet, she has 2 weeks to respond to the judge. So she's still in the game. This is not a full victory for Meghan Markle. And so that will be interesting to watch, because we know Harry and Meghan love their litigation.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
Harry's here now, right? And Harry's here now pursuing...
No, I think he's home. I think he did
When
come
you say
home,
I'm hoping that you think that the US is his home now rather than it being
I'm
here.
sorry,
I mean,
yes.
You can
I
have
meant,
him.
yes.
You can have him.
Yes. Montecito.
Yeah, yes, yeah. They love litigation. So, yeah, oh, wow. Okay, so that's playing out, but looks like in Meghan Markle's favour, right?
It does. It really does. But I get where Samantha's coming from.
Yeah, yeah. Kate Middleton, a tiara
I'll be really
tradition.
quick on this. It's just a debate happening in the States. I'm like, Cosmopolitan and People magazine are saying that American outlets are saying that Kate, the Princess of Wales, might not wear a tiara for the coronation. I'm aghast. I'm offended. I hope we see a tiara. It's why we love these things. So I'm hoping that these American outlets have really bad sources.
And I don't know why that would be. I mean, why is there a potential dialing down of pomp and ceremony? I mean, coronations, I mean, bearing in mind we haven't had one for whatever it is, 75 odd years. It should be all about, high pomp, ceremony, tradition, and the royals kind of doing what royals do, right? So why do we think those might be dumbed down?
It gives people, it allows people to be excited about the future, too, to see Catherine in a tiara.
Yeah.
Because she is the, incoming queen consort, God forbid, when we lose the king. And it just gives you something to look forward to, seeing her in a beautiful dress, a beautiful tiara. So I would be greatly disappointed if that happens. Additional coronation news, the Daily Beast, another American outlet, is reporting that Harry and Meghan will have a prominent seating spot if they attend, which I think surprises a lot of people. And then, I know we're short on time, Joe Biden is not going. He might send his wife or Kamala. We're sorry.
Well, he might send Meghan Markle as his ambassador, right? I mean, is that how this works? I mean, is Meghan Markle seen as the Queen of the United States, perhaps?
I'd like to say hell to the no. I know it's early in the morning, so I hope I don't get in trouble for that.
No, I think that's okay. Tom, is that okay? Yeah, Tom's saying that's okay. You can say that.
Okay.
Especially when it relates to Meghan Markle.
Yeah, exactly. So no, she is not what we would consider the Queen of America. But I just think that's disappointing that my president wouldn't show up with. I'd love an invite. That's amazing.
But why do you think that is? I mean, we did talk about this briefly on the show yesterday, that yes, he might send Kamala Harris, he might send representatives. I'm sure that the President of the United States has a pretty busy schedule, but this is, I mean, not only is this quite an important occasion that doesn't happen very often, but it is part of this whole, and I know everyone hates this term, but the whole special relationship thing, it almost looks like a snub if Biden isn't here. Or are Americans worried about what Biden might do in such a public footing, in such a public place? I mean, he does stumble and humiliate himself on a fairly regular basis. So maybe his advisors have thought, there's just no way we put this guy on the world stage when there's literally 2 or 3 billion people watching him fall up a load of steps or forget what he's doing in the United Kingdom.
Well, don't forget, he was disappointed by his seating situation at the Queen's funeral. So could that be it? Could he have felt slighted with the seating arrangements at the Queen's funeral and thought, I'm not going to embarrass myself again by being in the back? I mean,
so
it
whose
could be
decision
that.
do you think it is, Kinsey? I mean, do you think it's him, or do you think advisors? I mean, I'd love to know what we really think the reason behind the President of the United States not going to the King's coronation is.
Honestly, Russell, I think he's on his last leg. I mean, I don't even think he knows what his last name is half the time. I just don't think that he's physically, and I mean, this is disgusting, and I hate to use this word, but remember the story about him passing gas in front of Camilla, Queen Consort?
Yeah.
I mean, that last year, do you remember that story? I mean, it's not like he's left a good impression on these people.
No, I guess not. I mean, you have a wonderful way of electing people, don't you? I know we can talk because we had Boris Johnson as Prime Minister for a period of time, and I'm sure you were laughing like drains at that. But, you know, to go from Trump to Biden, I mean, of 250 million people in your country, are those two honestly the best that you can do?
I'm not
expecting an apology, Kinsey, by the way. I'm not saying
I mean, I will apologize, but I'm not in any way, shape, or form to blame for that. That's all I have to. My hands are clean.
Well, you're not, because of course it's the selection process. You get what you're given, I guess, in terms of the population having two people to vote for rather than being part of the kind of primary process and who's stuck in front of you. But it's I mean, it's funny, but it's not really, because it's so serious, isn't it? That
scary.
And Biden's still talking about running, right? He's going to be about 117 years old by the time the presidential elections come round again. And as you say, he's kind of not really got all of his faculties, but he's seriously thinking about running again.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's 10 p.m. right now where I am. He's gone through 74 diapers today. I think propping him up on podiums half the time, I think the words elder abuse. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's such a poor reflection on our country. He missteps in such sensitive times, in times of need. I don't know if you saw him joking about the ice cream right after that horrible shooting in Nashville.
I mean, that was abhorrent.
That's right when the world needs. That's right when our country needs comfort.
Exactly. It's as if he didn't really know where he was. I mean, yeah. Look, that is very, very worrying. Let's hope he's got some very, very good advisors. Look, Kinsey Schofield, thank you very much indeed for joining us.